Hello, everyone. So in this lecture, we're going to talk briefly about viroids, virusoids, and prions. They are acellular pathogens, but they didn't really fit well, in my opinion, into the lecture about viruses because they're different enough that it would have just felt like a 90-degree turn. So we're going to just take a short little bit of time to talk about these kind of unique pathogens. And so by the end of this module, you'll be able to describe the viroids and their unique characteristics, describe virusoids and their unique characteristics, and describe prions and their unique characteristics. So kind of phoning it in on these objectives. These are the ones straight out of the OpenStax textbook. But I do feel like it's useful to talk about these things. So viroids were discovered, I think, in like the late 1970s. It means virus-like. Now, they basically consist only of short strands of circular RNA that are capable of self-replication, right? So that means that these are RNA that can make copies of themselves without the need of the molecular machinery in the cell. And so here we have PSTV, which is this potato disease that's caused by virusoids. Several other plants can be affected by virusoids or by viroids, sorry. And so it seems to be primarily, at least as far as I can tell, something that affects plants. However, there has been some recent research that suggests that they may be related to neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's. So then we have virusoids, which are these subviral particles best described as non-self-replicating single-stranded RNAs. So those, the big difference between the viroid and the virusoid is that the viroid has self-replicating single-stranded RNA genomes, and then the virusoid is non-self-replicating. They require a helper virus to do the replication, and they are also known as satellite RNAs, right? And so an example that affects humans is the hepatitis D virusoid. And so if you're infected with hepatitis B, the hepatitis D virusoid will actually make infection worse. So quick knowledge check, what kind of nucleic acids comprise the genomes of viroids and virusoids? All right, hopefully you came up with RNA. So viroids and virusoids are both RNAs. Now for something completely different, which is prions. So prions are a type of misfolded protein. They're called rogue proteins, and they actually are able to cause other proteins to misfold as well, right? And so these can create these transmissible spongiform encephalopathies, or TSEs. Some that you may hear of are like Kuru, fatal familial insomnia, Gertzmann-Straussler-Schneiter disease, and Crutchfield-Jakob. So up here we have Crutchfield-Jakob. So this is a normal brain, and now you can see it's very spongy looking and sparser looking when you have Crutchfield-Jakob disease. And so these prions can, get into the body through eating infected tissue. So if you're eating something like, if you have like bovine encephalopathy, like you eat a hamburger that has neurons with the, mad cow disease in it, it can actually transfer to you. And so it's very important that you, are that you're careful, that we as people are careful not to, eat those infected animals. All right, so do prion diseases require nucleic acids such as RNA or DNA to be infective? Take a moment and think about that. All righty, so the prions are just proteins. They don't have any RNA or DNA. They're just a protein that comes in misfolded and causes other proteins to misfold as well. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into these other acellular pathogens. I'll see you in class on Tuesday.